Hey everyone, Nick here with the Best Buy blog. Today we're looking at this gimbal, the DJI RS3 Pro. This is an upgrade over the RS-C2 that I reviewed 2 years ago, and it's an upgrade over the RS3 that I reviewed recently. So basically a gimbal is a great tool to stabilize your shots. It gives you a nice polished look. So if you shoot a lot of video and you want a little, some tricks up your sleeve and you want to get that Hollywood really polished look, this is a tool that you might want to investigate. Basically, it's a set of motors that will hold the camera steady for you, something that wouldn't be possible with just your hands, and it really reduces like the variation and it stabilizes the image. And you also get some controls that I'll get into a bit later. So basically, once you get this gimbal, you need to calibrate it and balance your camera. On the different arms, you'll have to find the balancing point and then adjust every arm separately that way or consecutively. And once that's done, there's an internal calibration for fine adjustments, and it's all done digitally, internally, and it's going to affect the motors, with the algorithm that DJI made for this product. It's not that hard to do. It takes a little while to get used to, but once you've practiced a few times, once you've done it a few times, it's really not that bad. It takes a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes tops, and then your camera is nicely calibrated and balanced on your gimbal. Using the gimbal is very easy. It's easy, but I wouldn't recommend using it on a shoot the first time you get it, because there is a certain learning curve. There's some a rhythm that you need to get into. Maybe you should practice with a friend or family member just to get used to it. But once you're used to it, it's really fun and easy to use. You basically get a joystick that adjusts the camera where you want it to go. You can set it to a comfortable position too. It's very intuitive. And then there's also a trigger that helps center the camera. It's going to center the camera and balance it out at the default position. But you can also hold the trigger to keep the camera pointed where you had it last. So it's very useful to follow a subject. And last but not least, with the trigger, you can triple click it and you go into selfie mode, which I think will really be useful for vloggers. And I've seen a lot of vloggers use this. It really helps, take the production to a whole new level thanks to all the stability it adds. And this might interest them because it's really cool and easy to use, and will give you a nice polished look that will maybe differentiate you from other vloggers. That being said, let's look at the upgrades over the RS-C2. First of all, there's a bigger touchscreen, so your workflow might be faster. It's easier to use. It's more convenient. It's bigger. The other one was I think it was 1 inch. This one's 1.8, so a little bit more surface for you to press on and have more options. There's more buttons for the different modes that the gimbal offers, so that makes for a faster workflow also. The other big improvement is the stabilization algorithm. So this is the 3rd generation, and it's going to be more stable. So it should provide, it should give you better results than the RS-C2. This is also, an upgrade over the regular RS3 model. The Pro version has more. It has more space to accommodate bigger lenses and bigger cameras. They're not, the most widespread cameras, but if you have one of these, you can see them on DJI's website on the product page of this, of this gimbal. If you have one of these cameras, you'll need to get the Pro version to accommodate your camera. But if you have like a regular mirrorless, I'm using the A7C. It's going to fit just fine on the regular version. The other improvement over the regular RS3 is the fact that it's compatible with LiDAR. You'll need an additional purchase of a rangefinder, and from what I can see online is that it's going to eat up your battery a lot faster. The battery here is rated for like 12 hours. Well, if you're using LiDAR, it's going to cut that to 3 almost hours. So it's a big you're gonna lose a lot of battery life just using the LiDAR. The LiDAR is used to have really precise focusing, so it might be, you know, a kind of a niche feature. So I'm not sure if you actually use that, but if you want the best of the best, this is what you need to use. You know, using the gimbal, it's very intuitive. Once you get used to it, it's very fast. So I think it's a great tool to have, especially if you shoot a lot of video, you want to try some new stuff. It's a very cool thing to use. It's just like, it looks like it's a lot of fun. You know, I had a blast using it. But the Pro version, you know, the upgrades over the regular version might not be worth to a lot of the users, like more, you know, prosumer kind of users. You know, not everybody's going to use LiDAR. Not everybody has these bigger cameras and lenses. So make sure that if you need to have the Pro version, if you have like a big camera, you'll have to go with the Pro. But you know, you might find that the RS3 is just good enough for you. You know, and you don't need necessarily LiDAR. That being said, I actually used this on a shoot with my buddy Charlie Sporns. We shot with it for a couple of hours, and I'll show you some images we got at the end of this video. If you needed more information about the DJI Ronin RS3 Pro, please go read my full review on Best Buy's blog. My name is Nick, and here are the images we shot with Charlie Sporns.